Hello, welcome to the Perfect Cast, and your host Bruce Matson with host Tom Holman, where we talk about fantasy football, autographed football cards, and how silly the autographs look, and other random stuff. And we're gonna recap week 5 and probably talk about a few other things, but week 5 was probably about as crazy as a week can get. Football wise, it has ups and downs and everything in between, and there's just a lot to dig into. First off, Tom's Bengals lost
Yeah,
Cardinals, so that was great. That was great to watch.
I mean it was a great. I mean, just two titans just colliding on the field is what that was.
Yes, and one had to go down and get murdered, and it was the
Yeah,
Bengals. It
it
was
was the
dumb.
it was the immovable force. I can't remember what the fuck Gorilla Monsoon said, but it was terrible.
and they just got let down like Jay Gruden this morning.
Yeah, but Bill Callahan's taking over for Jay Gruden.
They're going to establish the run. Sorry,
right.
Terry McLaurin. Sorry,
Yeah.
you're going to block.
AP owners rejoice.
It's over. Nothing increases your testosterone more than establishing the run.
I'll tell you what, though, that's how you beat the Chiefs.
Yep, you just run. You just give them a little bit of that Marlon Mack.
You just don't let them have the ball.
Mm-hmm. So let's go into it's crazy week. So let's go into some of our fantasy leaders here. I haven't pulled them up. I haven't pulled up for NFL.com week 5. So let's start with quarterbacks. I'll give you the top 5 or so. Deshaun Watson tossed 5 touchdowns for 41.74 fantasy points. He was your QB1. Matt Ryan right behind him, 31.90 fantasy points. If you guys watched my live stream this weekend, the first thing I pulled up, the first thing I talked about was the Texans-Falcons game. And I pretty much, the premise of what I talked about is make all kinds of lineups with this matchup in it. There's no way you could have missed out on Watson Fuller stacks mixed with some Ridleys. And then the next thing I hammered on right after that was paying up for running backs. And if you did that and you paid up for Christian McCaffrey, then you would have went off.
Oh, you would have won some money, man.
The sad thing is, Fuller was chalk. He was about 20. He had a 24% ownership because he was $4,500 on DraftKings. So the field was looking for him to do this almost.
The writing was on the wall. It was his time. Falcons. It was his time.
Yeah, and Fuller is the ultimate best ball DFS guy. And you just throw him in lineups, even if it's optimal or not, because he's an air yards machine. He proved it this week, and he gets a game like this every year. Maybe not 50 points, more like 30, 40, but still. He'll probably have another big game where he's in the 30 range and maybe 2 or 3, but yeah, he's an air yard monster.
It was a thing of beauty this week. That was fantasy gold, that whole game, man. Except for Julio Jones.
Yeah. Someone had to regress in that matchup. Not everyone could be like a home run hitter, especially when you got Hooper also putting up points.
Mm-hmm.
He's your tight end 1 for the year so far.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, who'd have thunk?
Yeah.
It's early.
Mm-hmm. He's just consistent. He doesn't have those monster games, but he's just consistently up there. Russell Wilson, QB3 at 29.92. 292 points would have been amazing, though.
Yeah.
You don't want a game by himself.
You might have won that week if you had him.
Maybe. Unless you're going against the Watson, Fuller, CMC stacked, and you might have some problems. But Teddy Bridgewater, QB4, 27.26. 4 touchdowns, 314 yards. Solid performance. Kyler Murray doing it up against the Bengals.
That's not shocking.
93 rushing yards. Rushed as much as Joe Mixon, but got a touchdown on top. Brady bounced back from week 4 with 23.92 fantasy points. Right back. in the shootout against the Packers, 23.22. That game was kind of frustrating because at the beginning the Cowboys were not performing at all, and then they decided to try to win it late when they were behind and started to make a game of it. And then if they would have just started to claw back a little earlier, we could have saw a little bit more fireworks.
Yeah. It still ended up pretty good, but yeah, you're right. They I don't know what the hell happened. They just didn't show up till the fourth quarter.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of little things wrong. I mean, Dak was off on some parts. The offensive line had some problems. You can put a little bit on the play calling. You can put a little bit on, like, little things like Randall Cobb getting it. I mean, it's just the defense was getting gouged by the run. The defense, I mean, Aaron Rodgers was just accurate as fuck that day.
Yeah, he was 1 point.
He had some crazy passes, too, where he was just scrambling, and then just all of a sudden he just hit his guy in stride, and you didn't even know how he saw him.
That Jones guy had a good game, that one guy.
Yeah, that one Jones guy, man. 4 touchdowns. We'll hit on him here in a little bit.
That's right, yeah.
He went off. Let's wrap up our top 10. Gardner Minshew had 21.16 fantasy points. Kirk Cousins hit the 20 spot with 20.54, and he was QB 9. Your guess who was QB 10?
Probably Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton for sure. 18.98 fantasy points, and he outscored Mahomes, who's right behind him with 18.54 at QB 11. Wrapping up.
Who doesn't have Andy Dalton ahead of Pat Mahomes every week?
Just the Bengals. Just the Bengals.
The Bengals had John Ross ahead of Patrick Mahomes. So.
Yep, gotta get that speed. And then Jared Goff wraps up your top 12 with 17.90. Guys who shit the bed. Lamar Jackson, 11.44, 161 yards, 1 touchdown. Was that 3 picks?
3
picks. 3 picks, 70 yards rushing, saving a little bit of face. Daniel Jones, what's up?
Yeah. Back to Lamar Jackson, man. I mean, he's starting to show his true colors again. You got to play him, though, just because of the rushing.
Yeah, it gives him a little bit of floor. He's not going to give you single digits, but Marcus Mariota was hell at 8.62 fantasy points, 183 yards and no touchdowns. And then we got Derek Carr with just 229 yards and no touchdowns, 7.96 fantasy points.
Exciting as they get, Derek Carr.
And they beat the Bears.
Yeah.
They beat the Bears. Holy fuck.
John Gruden's got him at 3-2.
Yeah, I know. That's remarkable. And they got like an easy stretch coming up, so they might be able to pull out a couple more wins.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
John Gruden, man, I'm telling you, something about him. He's special.
On to the running backs. We have 2 40-point running backs here.
Yep.
Aaron Jones, the 4 touchdown man. 107 yards on top of that. 7 catches. So, Jesus, he about hit for a trifecta here with a 49.20 PPR points, and McCaffrey right behind him with 47.70. Damn.
Unbelievable. Well, McCaffrey, man, he's
gifted as fuck.
He's a stud, man. See, people don't give him. People don't talk about. I don't know if it's because he's white, but people don't talk about his speed enough.
No, not at all. He came in the league super talented. He's only getting better. He's getting better.
He's ridiculous.
He's very shifty in the open field. He made some incredible moves this week against Jacksonville.
And I mean, when you split him out wide, he runs great routes.
Mm-hmm.
He's just ridiculous. He's the best. I'm gonna go ahead and right now. I don't care. I mean, yeah, Saquon Barkley is amazing. Christian McCaffrey is the best player in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm doing a dynasty draft, you have to highly consider him at the 101. I mean, him and Barkley. I mean, put their names in a hat. Make McCaffrey 101. I don't care, but those are 2 guys that you wanted as top 2.
Oh, absolutely.
And neither's a bad choice.
You can't go wrong with either one. You really can't.
No, not at all. Next guy, RB3. Who do you think's the RB3 here?
Oh, let me think. Gosh, I know this. Go ahead and hit me with it.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, the sundial ban.
123 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 catches, 20 yards for 29.30 fantasy points. That was an awkward game. I can't wait to go back and watch that. The Bears just shit the bed here, and the game script was all over for the Raiders. That's just they just gave the Raiders a gimme from what it looks like. But I'm gonna rewatch this one and see what happened.
They didn't show up. I watched a little bit. They just didn't show up.
No, they had some bad quarterback play, and it showed.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears' quarterback situation is pretty terrible because I mean Chase Daniel is not much worse than Trubisky. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So they're fucked quarterback wise. Their defense is going to have to carry that team all year, and there's going to be weeks where they don't, and that's what happened.
Yeah, the new age NFL, it's less likely a defense can carry you. You have to be firing on all cylinders to be a top-notch defense. It's not like the Trent Dilfer era anymore. Nope. So you have to be solid on offense to be able to even beat these mediocre teams like Oakland that can be good and can be off. So who you think RB's 4?
RB4, well, I'm probably wrong because Jacobs had 29 points. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, probably is, but I'm pretty. I had a lot of bad beats this week, so kind of I kind of got pissed off about everything. Let's see, RB4. Let's see. I'm probably wrong because it'd be too big of a point drop off. But David Johnson's in the top 10. I know that, but he's not RB4.
He's not in the top 10.
He's not. He had 17. Well, in PPR, he had 17. Just tell me who RB4 was.
Dalvin Cook.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, duh.
132 yards, 6 catches, 86 yards. And then right behind him is Phillip Lindsay, 114 yards, a touchdown, 4 catches, 33 yards, at 24.7. I think Lindsay's a weird play. Like Dynasty, you kind of want to sell him, but like if you're a contending team, he's okay to have because he's putting up points.
Yep. Got some breaking news here.
What's that?
The Bills have traded Zay Jones to the Raiders for a 5th-round pick in 2021. Zay Jones is now a Raider.
Zay Jones is a Raider, so I'm not a big fan of Zay Jones, to be honest with you.
No.
I thought he was a compiler in college. He had a shit ton of yards, and it's going to be an interesting fit in Oakland for him. He's automatically going to be like a piece for them, a key piece. Tyrell Williams out. Darrell Waller, he's a tight end. He's going to get snaps. When you get targets, volume, I guess. But he's not going to be like a automatic wide receiver 1 or anything.
No, I wouldn't think so. Maybe better opportunity there than they had in Buffalo, I guess. I don't know why. If he can't crack, to be in the top guy in Buffalo, he certainly probably isn't in Oakland. It ain't like he's got elite players he's competing with.
Yeah. I can see him have some good weeks if the volume's there. But just like in college, it'd be more like a compiler. Compiling stats just on volume, not efficiency or like speed or athleticism or anything like that.
Yeah. For sure.
RB6, 108 yards, 1 touchdown, Leonard Fournette.
He's been solid all year.
23.7 points and 4 catches. 4 catches. He's a receiving back now.
All of a sudden,
you just had to get the right coach just to chuck it down for him. And DeFilippo, that offense. That's the offense that fueled the Vikings last year that had Diggs and Thielen just going off week after week.
Thielen balled out this week.
He needed it. Squeaky wheel gets the grease, and it got it. Eckler, even Gordon there. Let's see, 15 catches.
Yeah.
86 yards.
Record for running backs.
15 fantasy points and just catches.
I like it.
Let's see. Let's go with some duds. David Johnson, we were talking about him. He got 18.60, RB11. Todd Gurley finished RB10. Devonta Freeman, RB12. And then let's go. Zeke kind of disappointing in a plus matchup with just 17.10 fantasy points. Kind of expected more. Alvin Kamara, too, against Tampa Bay, 16.92, but it's not horrible. Jordan Howard dropped down to 12.20.
I was disappointed with Jalen Samuel's usage this week.
Yeah, me too. I was expecting a little more.
He threw a pick, though, at least.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Let's see. David Montgomery had another meh week, 10.60. I mean, that's double digits at least. Miles Sanders right behind him.
Yeah, they're just not. I mean, Miles Sanders, nine carries for 15 yards. That's not very good.
No. And Damian Williams. Come back from an injury, though, but 6.80 fantasy points.
That Colts defense was just dominant last night, though. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, that's an underrated defense. I mean, when Luck was on that team, that was a Super Bowl contender, and all of a sudden it's like.
I mean, they're not giving up. I mean, I don't think the walls are caving in. I think they're still a playoff. They could be a playoff team.
Yeah, definitely. They're just very underrated for what they got. That defense is probably one of the better ones in the league. It's just that defense got me 9 fantasy points in my ESPN league. So, I mean, against the Chiefs, I'll take that.
Well, yeah, because I mean, yeah, anytime you get anything positive fantasy points wise against the Chiefs, you just got to take that and run with it.
I was kind of wondering more out of Nyheim Hines, but Mac went off, so I understand.
Yeah. Well, the thing that sucked about that was it was a Sunday night game and it was a game time decision though, so you almost couldn't put him in your lineup.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is a tough one. Let's see here. Any other ones? Nothing else really to note. I'm looking through, and now on to the wide receivers. We had some ballers this week. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys with over 30 fantasy points. Will Fuller, obviously wide receiver 1, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, 14 catches on 16 targets, 53.70 fantasy points. I think it's wide receiver 9 over like the last 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you have that, and then there's probably, if you go back to Jerry Rice's 1987 season, he's probably got 3 or 4 games sprinkled in there. Yeah, to go back that far because he had 23 touchdown catches in 14 games. So
Will Fuller had 143 air yards in that game and 8.9 average at the target. So he was targeting on some short passes as well. 48% target share.
That's unbelievable, man. What a week.
Michael Thomas blew up too. Even in the Teddy Bridgewater era, he's solid. He's almost quarterback proof. 41.20 fantasy points, 11 catches, 182 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was just being Michael Thomas.
It's like his Twitter handle, can't guard Mike.
You can't guard Mike. And you just can't do it.
He's like the Michael Jordan of Louisiana right now. New Orleans is in Louisiana, right?
Yeah, the Cajun Jordan.
Yeah. He's got some po' boys under that helmet.
That's right, and some jambalaya goes in there. The rest of the guys are drinking Gatorade. He's just drinking gumbo bra.
The third wide receiver is Amari Cooper. He had a very underrated week. Very.
Quietly great.
Quietly 226 yards. 1 touchdown. 11.9 average at the target. And 101 yards after the catch.
The biggest takeaway from that for me is not only that, of course, I'm maybe Amari Cooper's #1 fan. So I mean, but when he has weeks like that, you can still fire up Michael Gallup because he had 7-113 and a touchdown.
They combined for 64% of the targets.
Mm-hmm.
They were. You can still fire him up. Man, they were keying on Cooper hard, and they still couldn't stop him.
Yeah. You can't stop either one of them.
That when Gallup and Cooper are firing, it's. I mean, it took a little later than we wanted to, but when those two are firing, it's just fun to watch.
And it's that rare tandem where you can actually start them both.
Mm-hmm.
That's unusual.
Yeah, Gallup had 7 catches, 113 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Take that every week.
A wide receiver 11. Dallas had 2 wide receiver 1s this week.
Yeah, pretty damn impressive.
Who do you think's wide receiver 12? Who would be your guess?
Wide receiver 12. Let me take a look. I'm an educated guess here, and my guess has been shit tonight. So let's see here. Let me look. Just let me look over here. Let's see. I'm talking while I'm looking.
Looking? You're looking at the ranks to the guess?
Thinking. No, I'm not looking at ranks. I'm not looking at ranks. I'm trying to do it just my own head. Okay, well, I know that ain't it because Chark's probably top 10.
Chark is 4.
Yeah, Chark is 4, so I'm way off there.
4 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He had a 30-plus point game.
36.4.
Wide receiver 10. I should just look at the guy I play because every wide receiver in his fucking team went nuts in one of these leagues. Oh, let's see. The Undertaker? Oh! Just give it to me. Paul Bear? Paul.
Byron Pringle.
Oh yeah, Percy Pringle. That tells you right there. I knew Pringle had a big game, but it like slipped my mind. That tells you right there. Even when the Chiefs are getting dominated, you want pieces of their offense on your team.
Yeah, Sammy Watkins went out right, and Pringle stepped in, scored a touchdown, and all fire up all Chiefs. That's pretty much all you got to do.
Yeah, fire up all Chiefs. I mean, you could probably draft a team full of Chiefs and probably get to the playoffs in your league.
Yes, I bet so. Especially if you got Mahomes and those Mahomes, Kelsey, the correlation between there, and you just mix in those receivers.
Shit, went down the wrong pipe there. Yeah, but I mean, Pringle for Christ's sake.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's the first Paul Bear analogy. Everyone else been comparing them to the potato chips. Here in the Percast, we know how to do it.
That's right, Percy Pringle, baby, a.k.a. Paul Bear.
That's the only Pringle I know of. I can't believe you didn't catch off the rip.
I did, but I was just... I don't know, man. I'm just off my game.
I'm a good Paul Bear. I hit it that time.
You hit the Paul Bear well. My Undertaker. I don't do it very well tonight. I don't know. And and people are doing the chip analogy, I got another hot take tonight. Pringles suck. They're not a good chip.
They are just cheap grabs.
They're not good. No, they're not even cheap. I'll get the Lay's
cheap grab. They're $1.
The Lay's stacks are $1. The Lay's stacks are even cheaper.
Yeah, but you don't have as many flavors.
Who gives a shit? Pringles suck. Lay's stacks.
You get onions under your fucking cheese on your pizza, dude.
That's right.
Like slugs.
That's right. Caramelized onions. Caramelized onions. That's what chefs do. Gordon Ramsay would serve that shit up.
Oh, hell no.
Pringles.
Gordon Ramsay, more like Patrick Ramsay.
Patrick Ramsay, baby. I want to see Patrick Ramsay and Jason Campbell in a quarterback challenge.
I want to see it. I want to see him throw some footballs at a tire and see how hard they hit them and miss.
They'll still hold on to it, and they won't. They'll be too afraid to throw it.
They'll check it down somehow to like a lawn chair.
They'll still check down.
Jason Campbell's the only guy who checked down in the quarterback challenge.
Ooh. He outscored DeAndre Hopkins, DJ Moore, Tyler Lockett, Mike Williams, Juju. Did he score? Yeah, he outscored Juju even.
Well, Juju had an emotional breakdown after he saw Rudolph go down.
I would too. I mean, who was going to throw me the ball? Jesus.
But he acted like he acted like Simba when Mufasa died.
Man, did you see him take the face mask off of Rudolph?
Yeah, and then the fucking cart didn't work.
He looked like John Travolta getting ready to like.
Yeah, he did. I saw that.
A bobsled race.
I saw a tweet on that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, he was gone, man. Whew.
Lord, I apologize.
Hard times, Daddy.
Hard times for Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph got that head shaker there, Daddy. The kabuki. He got kabukied.
Let's look at some duds. Julio Jones, 7.20 points in a plus matchup.
Terrible.
Brandon Cook, 6.6, had to leave with an injury. Keenan Allen, 5.8.
Phillip Rivers was just terrible yesterday.
Oh, yeah. He dropped back, 58 times and only had like 200 yards?
Yeah, it was awful.
Jesus Christ, that Bolo Tide just got in the way of his throwing mechanics, I tell you what.
Them 30 kids got to him finally. I think he's helping breastfeed. So he's having the suckle.
He's got them little powder puff nipples.
Mike Evans, 0 fantasy points.
Yeah, I had him on a team. Thank God Will Fuller carried the load, but yeah, I had him on my team. And I thought he just glitched. It was so bad. Like, and then Chris Godwin was wide receiver 4.
Yep. But I love him. I have a bunch of shares of Chris Godwin, so it don't bother me any.
Me neither. I'm all about that Chris Godwin. I have him in all kinds of best ball leagues. I mean, a lot. Especially when he was like a 6th round pick earlier, like the spring. I think I got him in a good 30 leagues.
I got him everywhere. I mean, and the only time I reached for him one time, I drafted him in the 3rd round one time. I got laughed at by a bunch of dudes who didn't know. By a bunch of dudes who had already taken. There's already 7 quarterbacks taken, and I got laughed at for taking Chris Godwin in the 3rd round.
Oh, listen to this one. I took Chris Godwin in a Roto World mock draft for Dynasty. 3.12 last pick of the 3rd round.
Beautiful.
And a beautiful pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got mocked for that one. I mean, fuck. I mean, look at him off, and they're like, man, he's got to be a wide receiver 1 for him to hit. I'm thinking, no, I'm just drafting a young receiver who's getting targets. If I draft T.Y. Hilton, he's old as balls.
Mm-hmm. I got Chris Godwin in an auction league for $11.
Mm-hmm.
$11. Wow. No, I started the bidding at $8.
It was between him, T.Y. Hilton, and David Montgomery. Those are top picks on the board then.
Well, it's Godwin all day, every day.
All day, twice on Sunday. And he was, he wasn't far off from Evans. I mean, he's probably, technically, you can probably say he's about as valuable as Evans. I mean, Evans' price has to drop some, right?
Oh, he has to. I mean, he had that 1 mega week, but other than that, he hadn't done shit.
I know. I mean, football-wise, he takes the wide receiver 1, but we're not playing that. We want those fancy points, and Godwin's getting it.
Yeah, Evans, his potential or whatever, yeah. But it's not, he's not living up to his potential because Jameis Winston don't like him.
I mean, why push it downfield and risk it when you got Godwin just slaying DBs, nickel corners, and linebackers underneath?
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Boyd's another underrated receiver. He's getting targeted, peppered, and just producing.
Yeah. The Bengals in the 4th quarter looked like a team possessed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's where they got all their fancy points. I mean, Boyd had 5 catches for 100 yards in the 4th quarter.
I loved him at Pitt. I swear I'm not a Pitt fan, but I end up liking a lot of Pitt players.
Well, they've produced some decent wide receivers over the years.
Not gonna lie, I had a thing for Nathan Peterman.
Well, that's a little too.
But that was a little too far. But no,
we
my worst one was Ray Graham. I don't know if you remember him. No. Ray Graham. Actually, I didn't have a thing for Nathan Peterman. I was kind of joking about that, but I actually had a thing for Ray Graham like 5 years ago. Too small, not enough athleticism, but he had a hell of a jump cut. That damn jump cut was fun to watch.
Well, it is pretty.
Fucked up in the East-West Shrine game, fumbled. I remember that, and he just wasn't a good enough prospect. I was young and dumb at the time.
You find somebody you like, man, it's hard.
That's what she said.
I was waiting for that.
Who do you think was tied in one this weekend?
Tied in one this weekend. Well, let's see if the fucking comedy of errors with me can continue.
I just want to see how to fuck it up.
I need to pull up some ranks. I'm just trying to go off. I'm just trying to go off all the shit I watch on the Red Zone channel.
What happened yesterday in WWE? Because first thing I saw.
Oh God, dude!
It was a hashtag. It was a cancel WWE Network. That was trending on Twitter.
Oh my God, dude! It was terrible. Okay, so
take a horrible pay-per-view, right?
Just a horrible ending. The rest of the pay-per-view was actually pretty decent. You had The Fiend, the Bray Wyatt's new character, or whatever. You basically had a match stoppage in a Hell in a Cell match.
Really?
So, okay, first off, no, it wasn't a tap out or anything. First off, disclaimer: I know wrestling's fake, but there still needs to be some logic beyond the booking. And we'll give you a brief history of Hell in a Cell matches over the years. We had the most famous one is Mick Foley fell off the cell through a table, then fell through the cell. Match didn't stop. Undertaker hung the Big Boss Man. Match didn't stop. He hung him. He pulled him up and as a fake hanging, but he hung somebody. The referee didn't, But Seth Rollins pulls out a sledgehammer and hits somebody with the sledgehammer, and that's too far. That's too far. It was terrible.
They canceled it? What happened?
The referee's like, don't do it, Seth, don't do it. And Seth hit him with the sledgehammer, and the referee asked for him to ring the bell. So then the Fiend gets up after 10 seconds or so and gives Seth Rollins the mandible claw, and he starts puking up blood, and that's how the show went off the air. The show goes off the air after that. They booked the Fiend perfect up until that point. The Fiend, Seth Rollins hit like seven curb stomps and a pedigree on him. He kicked out at 1. So then he put a stack of chairs on him and hit him with a toolbox, and then he kicked out at 2. So then he hit a few more curb stomps, put a bunch of chairs on him, put the toolbox on top of him, and pulled the sledgehammer out, hit him with the sledgehammer. Then the referee calls for the bell. This was, I'm not making this up. This was their way. One of the biggest weeks in wrestling history. You have AEW's preview. You have. Or premiere, not preview. You have SmackDown going to Fox, broadcast network television, one of the big broadcast things. You have The Fiend, who's like the hottest gimmick they've had in years. They didn't make him look weak though, but you stop the match in a Hell in a Cell. It makes zero booking sense whatsoever. If you don't want to take the title off Seth Rollins and you don't want to put the title on The Fiend, don't book the match. They booked themselves in the corner now because The Fiend got hit with somebody's finisher like 17 times and kicked out at 1. So eventually, how do you beat him? How do you beat him now? Do you shoot him? Do you have somebody just shot on air?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So there you go. So it's complete, just utter nonsense. I'll never stop watching WWE. It's what got me into the game, watching wrestling. And people are saying cancel WWE Network. Why would you cancel something with all that history? Like wrestling history. Why would you do that? But anyway, I'm done with my rant.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Gerald Everett are tied in 1 with 7 catches and 136 yards and 20.6.
I was going to say Everett. Will Disley had to be up there this week.
Tied in 6, actually.
Yeah.
Getting sick of that son of a bitch.
You getting sick of Disley? Why is that? Because he's ginger?
I just can't stand him. I can't stand him because the guy at work made a trade for Disley.
Yeah.
And I call him an idiot. He's asked me for advice.
Who the hell traded for Disley? You just pick him off waivers and
well, Disley had that big week and somebody picked him up and then he got rid of Ertz for oh god, I can't remember. But anyway, I was wrong because Disley is obviously the greatest tight end ever, and it makes me feel bad. It lowers my self-esteem.
I know. I lost Njoku and I just picked up Disley, and then all of a sudden I got like a correlation between Disley and Russell Wilson. It's like nothing happened to my team.
Yeah, and then how's this happen? How does Lockett only get 4 targets? I know we're talking about tight ends right now, but
remember that touchdown grab he had early in the game? That was amazing.
And he's got to be one of the top. He's one of the most efficient wide receivers around.
And, they ran the ball a lot too, and then and in games it's game script too. I debated they were behind, he'd get a little more.
Yeah, they were dominant, but God, just bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Will Disley. Yeah, he's great. Good pickup if you've got him. Whatever, he's playing well, but I just don't like him. I don't like Will Disley.
He's like, I don't know how to describe him. He's kind of got a little Witten in him, but he's
annoying.
He's like a slower Witten. He's like 23, 24, 25, but he's already as slow as Witten is now.
Yeah, but he produces every freaking week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Tight end 3, just because he had 2 touchdown catches. It doesn't take much. He had 20 receiving yards. He's tied in 2 with 20 receiving yards just because he got 2 touchdown catches.
Oh, God.
There's only 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tight ends with 10 or more fantasy points this week in PPR.
It's rough, yeah.
There's a hard times, Big Daddy.
Hard time for the tight ends there, if you will.
Hard times.
You want him to block, but you want him to throw at the same time, Daddy, and it's tough.
Catch, not throw.
So far, George Kittle catch for 10 yards, so he's 7 points away.
He's right there.
It's only 9:02. I mean, we got another hour and a half or 2. That could jump there, I guess. Maybe. Who cares?
Browns are already down 14-0. But hey, Odell Beckham's keeping his great season at quarterback up.
He's 1 for 1 for 20 yards.
He's the best quarterback on that team this year.
He might be. Man. Him or Chubb.
Well, I'll tell you what, Odell Beckham has one more
Pass completion than he has catches so far.
That's the only way he can produce right now.
He's their backup quarterback. What the fuck? We gotta get rid. Bad coaches are an epidemic in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. You got bad coaches, and you got tanking, not caring if their coach is bad too.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I know exactly what you're saying.
But like the Browns, that's bad coaching.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons, even though they've had a lot of fantasy points this week, terrible coaching.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah. Dallas.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jason Garrett showed some emotion this week, though.
Yeah, he didn't just clap. He threw a flag and
he threw that. Yeah, I couldn't tell whether I thought he was going to start crying. I really did. I thought he was going to break down and start crying. It was bad.
Did you see that video posted of him in the caption I had?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it was him throwing the flag as hard as he could, and my caption was, "When Mom overcooks the pasta gravy."
No, you did. Yeah, I did. I was thinking the whole time. I'm like, what the fuck's pasta gravy? I know beef gravy.
Pasta sauce.
Pasta sauce. So like marinara sauce. Okay, spaghetti sauce, something like that.
Yeah, you call it pasta gravy. It makes the Italians pissed.
I'm gonna use that from now on.
You only call it, and then it pisses people off, so I say it.
It worked because it pissed me off. I was like, pasta gravy, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was doing a double whammy. I was doing a joke and piss people off at the same time. That's how it worked.
It worked. You got heat. You got heat.
Yeah, you put me in the center of the ring, and I'll get the crowd going. Oh, shit. So, is there anything you want to hit on before we head out?
Well, I bitched about the coaches. I think we covered it all. Just keep in mind, just a little fantasy advice, even though you don't, you know. Obviously, this week I just didn't know it off the top of my head, but
so where'd you fuck up? Because you seem down. You seem down and depressed, Tom. Let's get you on the couch right now. Where'd you fuck up this week?
Well, in my Greenfield league, I didn't get the fucking whole trifecta. You know, I didn't have the whole effect where I had to face McCaffrey and Michael Thomas and blah 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 yada yada yada. Guy I played, he was dead last in the league, but I don't know how he's dead last in the league. He's got a pretty decent team, but so here's what I ran up against. I ran up against Michael Thomas, Thielen, Cup, and Lindsey all on the same team.
Ooh.
And of course, I couldn't have won anyway, even if I'd have hit everything right. But I had Gallup and Mack on my bench.
Oh no, because you thought Mack was hurt.
Well, Mack was game. I mean, that's logical though. Mack's a game time decision in the 8-20 game.
Chris Godwin on you.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not going to pick him up. I'm not going to drop somebody to pick Jordan Wilkins up, just in case.
Jordan Wilkins, Ole Miss standout.
So, I mean, and then I played Manny Sanders instead of Gallup. That worked out real well.
Yeah, I put Manny Sanders in a couple of DFS lineups. Even though when I was like, yeah, he blew up a few of my good lineups. Manny Sanders did, prevented me from winning decent cash instead of just a little bit of cash, and yeah, that made me sad because I was advocating for Cortland Sutton, but then I just had this little bit of extra cash, right?
And well, I mean, who'd have thought? I mean, going into Sunday, well, I mean, you know, Denver's going to be able to just run the clock out because they're going to dominate San Diego. No, nobody. So in that league, it's a league I've been in. I have history in it. A lot of my close friends are in it, so I get a little pissed off when I lose in that league.
What's your record?
Well, and here's this too. My record now will be 2-3. I'm the highest scoring team in the league.
2-3. Okay, so you're a losing team.
I'm a losing team with the most points, which is always frustrating.
Yes, because you can't get them points back in the next week, so don't carry over.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, I'm the best team overall. Consistency-wise, I have the depth through 5 weeks now, you know, and I've scored the most points. And I have a losing record. So I get pissed off about that. But the reason I have a losing record is because let me just go down and let you know the points that have been scored against me each week. Because this is fun. This is fun for me, and I've been thinking about it all fucking day.
It was like a sad show, sad clowns, and
well, it's not sad.
I feel like I'm watching the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior right now.
Well, you know, my heart might blow.
DVD, though.
It is. So for week 1, I got 134 scored against me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the lowest that's been scored against me all year. Week 2, 147. Week 3, 148. It goes up a point. Week 4, 134 again.
A little bit of regression there.
Yeah. Week 5, 197. So,
woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
So a little frustrating.
What'd your team do, anyways?
This week, they only scored 123. That's my lowest output of the season. And, like, no one's ever scored more than 200 points in this league. The way the pointing is scoring is half-point PPR. So, through 5 weeks, if the 123 is your worst week, you got a pretty good team.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not worried, but I just get pissed off.
I know. That's your worst week, 123, right?
Yeah, it's my worst week thus far.
Okay, so let's think. I mean, you could have some regression weeks where you don't score in the hundreds or barely in hundreds.
I doubt it.
You doubt it?
I doubt it. I got a really solid team.
You might as well lose it that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I'm 2-3. I'm not going to go on tilt or anything like that. I'm not free. I just get mad and down in the dumps.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about going 2-4? What happens if it's 2-4? Are you just not going to show up on the podcast?
I'll be there. I'll be there, but I'll be there, but it's might be a.
What if you go 2-4 and Ohio State loses?
Well, they're gonna lose next week because they're on bye.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Oh yeah, but that's your me.
You got a cow picture on the wall. What the hell?
Hey, I don't decorate. But it is kind of cool because there's one like pretty cow. That's her. That's her. And then there's some kind of like there's like some lazy bull slobbering is the other picture, and that's me. So it is appropriate, at least. My only decoration I have in the whole house, I've got a picture of the big red machine behind the toilet. So whenever time,
Kane,
not that one. That's gotta be Kane. That's gotta be Kane. But no,
Kane behind the toilet.
No, it's not. It's actually the Reds big red machine. And Pete Rose like looks at you. It's like he's staring at you every time you take a piss.
Heck yeah, he's gambling on it.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, he's gambling if he hit the little old Lysol pod that's in there.
I'll tell you, Art Shalister, I bet he's not gonna hit that hole this time.
I can't wait for sports gambling to be legalized in Ohio because I just know that if I go up to the casino in Cincinnati after that, I'm going to see them guys there.
Yeah, they'll be right there.
Yeah.
That'd be a hell of a time. It'd be great. It'd be great just to be able to play college DFS in Ohio.
Yeah. My dad, that's one story real quick. My dad won money off Art Schleister on the golf course once.
Really?
Yeah, way back when at Buckeye Hills.
Whoa.
Pretty cool story.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. He might have contributed to like his downward spiral and everything, but cool story.
Yeah, my mom went to high school with him. They're in the same grade. He'd pick on all the Down syndrome kids and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I know we make a lot of
real mean guy.
What a piece of shit! Because I know we make a lot of inappropriate jokes here on the Perfect Cast or whatever, politically incorrect. But whoever picks on Down syndrome people,
he does that. He did that or does that. Yeah,
they're amazing.
My mom's accountant. She makes mean pigs in a blanket, and I believe her.
Well, yeah. So So now instead of fuck don't they pet us, fuck Art Schleister, because if you do mean shit to Down syndrome kids, you just deserve to burn in hell.
Yeah, that's the main thing she told me about him, and then I've thought shitty of him ever since. She told me that a long time ago.
Yeah, fuck him.
All right, you got any final thoughts other than Art Schleister when we take this one home?
Nope, just don't go on tilt.
Don't go on tilt.
Don't go on tilt because you got some busts. Maybe hope, and also I think if AJ Green, I know he's not playing yet, but if he's not rostered in your league, think about picking him up because I got a hunch he's going to be traded, and he could be a Patriot before the season's over.
Everybody to the Patriots.
I mean, that makes logical sense, though. Green and Eifert could be traded to the Patriots, and they should be.
They should trade everybody.
Sashi Brown it.
Yeah, they need to. Most teams don't have the balls for that.
And the Bengals surely don't, so it's pipe dream. But that's all I got.
All right, this is what I got. So you need to follow us on Twitter. Tom at Chops480. He loves pork chops. Me at Metric Scouts. I'm going to try and hit up a live stream this week again. I don't know when, so you definitely need to follow me so you can catch it. or hit subscribe on the YouTubes. I'm somewhere on there. I forget what the channel's called, but you can find it probably. Just type my name. And we'll catch you guys next week on the Perfect Cast. Hopefully week 6 just as crazy because I love chaos. And we're out. And you guys be perfect.
You guys be perfect. Enjoy your pasta gravy. Good night.